All right, teammates, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and do our third and final installment of our recruiting and building series. For the last few weeks, we've been talking about a couple of different things from, how to build your team, having the recruiting mindset and all that good stuff. Recruiting mindset was one. That week of training, Coach B Walk, I was still kind of sick. And so I haven't uploaded that one because I watched it. It was kind of mid a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna put that one out there. I might have to do that one again next week. I might revisit that one and maybe put a little bit on. I just mustered up a little bit of strength in order to be able to get that one out. It was a short. Y'all remember that was a short training. We got off. I'm about to pass out and all that type of stuff. I was still like running fever, everything. So I might revisit that one. To give that one its just due, because I haven't uploaded that one. I wasn't satisfied with that one, so I didn't upload that one to the YouTube channel. But tonight, what I want to do is I want to take it a step further, and this is supposed to be the final installment. But again, I might revisit the other one next week. But family, this is first we'll recap last week for those who were present, for those who weren't here. We talked about how to grow your team. Let's do just a quick recap, real short. Hey, we talked about this book right here, The Secrets to Building a Super Hierarchy. Secrets to Building a Super Hierarchy. And I put it in the chat last Tuesday for people to be able to download it. I even put it in Telegram, so you can click on it and download it. Give me a thumbs up if you were able to download that book. Give me a thumbs up if you were able to get it. If you didn't get it, let me know. Raise your hand if you did not get the Secrets to Building a Super Hierarchy book. You didn't get it? Okay. Okay, Omar raised his hand. He did not get it. Omar, you don't have the book?
I may have it, but I don't know where it is, though.
Okay. Let me ask y'all something. If y'all go in Telegram right now, I posted it in there. Like I think it's right under where I did the YouTube training drop message. If you go in our team Telegram and look at it, just let me know y'all ain't seeing the stuff in Telegram, but it's all good. So go in there. It should be a post right under the YouTube training drop from last week that says, do y'all see it? You got it? Okay. All right, cool. Click that deal and it downloads the book for you. All right. So just want to let y'all know that, hey, it is out on Telegram. If you have not downloaded the book, you can access it from the Telegram chat. Click on that. It's right beneath the YouTube training drop message from last week. It's a link.
Nick,
yes.
if you go to the medias or the file share within the group, you'll find it in there.
Okay.
Just click on the group name and you'll have access to the files and pictures here.
Perfect. Fantastic. Accessible all kind of ways, guys. We want you to make sure you have this book. This is a powerful resource, something that you should add to your library. But these are some of the things that we took out of the book that we discussed last week. We talked about growing by addition, versus growing by multiplication. And when you grow by multiplication, you're tapping into compound recruiting, geometric progression. It's a lot of different names for that, but you want to focus on growing your team through multiplication. We talked about that power of three. That power of three, like, hey, you bring on three, and then your three get three, and then those three get three. And that's how you continue to multiply and explode your business, right? And so this was an example of, hey, 3 months of recruiting by addition versus 3 months of recruiting by multiplication. We also talked about the power of building a business wide and deep. When you build wide, that equals profitability, right? And you want to sprint wide. You want to go get a lot of direct recruits. When we're recruiting wide, that's direct recruits that you're personally recruiting. And then you want to take those recruits deep in order to start building legs, right? We talked about what is a leg. A leg is a recruit that has 3 recruits under them. So it's a 4 deep leg, right? So it has to be 4 deep in order to be able to consider a leg. That means that you got 1 recruit, one of them, that's a leg, right? And so depth equals security. Depth equals security. And then on top of that, recruiting and training wide and deep, that is building through multiplication. When you're doing both of those things with in depth, you're focusing on building that way, that equals, hey, man, you're recruiting and building by multiplication. Then we talked about the power of taprooting and how you're building deep in a leg until you find a leader. We did the whole example of Jackie recruiting Tito recruiting Jermaine, and Jermaine recruiting Michael, and how that fourth person in the leg, man, that's probably where you're going to find that leader, that superstar person. So as you recruit a frontline recruit, your mindset is, man, we got to get you some people, because a recruit is not a recruit until they get a recruit. In addition to that, more recap. You know, we talked about building deep in the leg keeps good people locked into the business, because when you're getting people for your people, they're less likely to exit stage right from the business. It kind of keeps them locked in. Also, identifying one leader. Listen to this, teammates. One leader in each leg that you have. You know, if you build a leg, if you identify one leader in that leg will kind of take on a life of its own. You know, and that leader, that's the person that knows how to do the presentation. They know how to schedule appointments. They know how to close business. They know how to get referrals. They know how to recruit. They know how to do that. So somebody that is self-sustaining in that capacity, that's somebody that's trending as a leader, then that leg will start taking on a life of its own. We talked about the magic of double-digit recruiting, that Primerica is a large numbers business, and double-digit recruiting, meaning that you're getting 10 or more recruits a month. That's pretty much takeoff speed. That's takeoff speed in the business. That'll get your business off the ground and allow you to build legs faster. And then I challenged you guys during training and after training to draw the circles. What is draw the circles? That means that, man, you want to draw and illustrate your team. What does your team currently look like? What does your team currently look like? And if you don't have a team, you're new to the business, you don't have a team, then what you want to do, you want to draw your circles like this. Hey, you say, hey, look, man, it's me. Who are going to be my first 3 direct recruits? And then you want to get 3 people under each of them, right? So you can start there. You get 3 and then help those 3 get 3. And those could just be blank circles. But now that you got the picture down on the paper, hopefully y'all feeling me. If you don't have a team right now, you want to draw this out. Or if you're rebuilding your team, you want to draw this out. You want to draw a circle with you, and then you want to put 3 circles under that and connect some lines to them and say, who am I going to fill these circles with? What new recruits am I going to put their names in these circles? And then you want to draw another 3 under, even before you get your 3. Go ahead and draw 3 under each of them and say, hey, man, I'm looking to get 3 people under my 3 people ASAP. And that's you tapping into the power of 3 in compound recruiting. So that's my charge and that's my challenge. And let that be, your focus when it comes to recruiting and building your team. All right. Now what we want to talk about, and this is the training for this week, family, we talking about promotions and cash flow. Y'all ain't excited. Promotions and cash flow, right? And so I'm going to take a deep dive into, how do you get promoted? What are the guidelines for promotion? See, there's people that should be on this training, man. They ask you all kind of, well, how do I get promoted? They say, man, this is the training. This is the training right here. And so, man, look, we're talking about that tonight, and we're going to talk about, promotions. We're going to talk about compensation in a way, not from a high level way, but in a way that I think that you guys can really get excited about, right? And so recruiting and building, promotions and cash flow. So let's talk about promotions. But when we talk about promotions and the way we want to go about promotions in this business and the way we approach it, Coach B-Walk, we talk about promotions with structure. We ain't talking about just giving out contracts. Hey, man, we're going to fast track you to district. We're going to fast track you to RL. You unlicensed, but you've already qualified for this promotion or that promotion and things like that. I mean, to each his own. God bless you if that's your deal. But, man, I want to help people get promoted and qualify for their promotions with some structure. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. So let's talk about each of the levels that lead up to regional vice president and what are our base shop requirements? What are our requirements in order to get those promotions, right? What do we say that you have to do? Well, the first level is a representative. This is a person that's on a 25% contract. When a person fills out their independent business application and they get their rep ID, their solution number, they're basically a representative. If they don't do anything but go past their life insurance exam, Chadrika, they'll come in as a representative. They're on a 25% contract, right? All you got to do is pass your life insurance exam. Boom. You're there. You're a rep. But guys, we don't want people to stay at rep. That's the lowest contract level, right? What we want to do is we want to encourage people to get to senior rep, right? And then there's two ways you can get to senior rep. You can get to senior rep before you even get licensed. We say, hey, you can pre-qualify for your senior rep promotion. Well, Nick, what do I got to do? All you got to do is get one direct recruit and do 1,000 in field training premium. Do 1,000 in field training life insurance premium. That 1 by 1,000 will get you your senior rep promotion. And if you are unlicensed, that same 1 by 1,000 that gets you your promotion will also get you $200 added to your field training bonus. So there's some money waiting on you for that, right? But let's just say that you miss out on your 1 by 1,000 pre-qualifying for it, you pass your test, and you come in as a rep. You say, well, man, I don't want to stay a rep, even though I'm licensed. What do I need to do? Well, if you are licensed to become a senior rep, all you got to do is do 1 by 1,000. But it has to be done in a Primerica production month, a Primerica production month. And so let's talk about the Primerica production month. A Primerica production month, Primerica's months are kind of weird, right? They don't just run from the first of the month to the end of the month. That's a calendar month. A Primerica production month, the first day of the month is after what month end is. So you just heard me say earlier, month end for the month of February is on March the 3rd, right? I was on March the 3rd, which means that the first day of March's production month is on the 4th, right? It's on March the 4th. Well, when is March's month end? Let's take a look. March's month end is on Tuesday, April the 1st. Tuesday, April the 1st is month end for the month of March. So this is the rule of thumb. This is the rule of thumb. Month end is always the first business day after the last day of the previous month. I'm going to repeat that. Month end in Primerica is always the first business day after the last day of the previous month. And so when you see month end being on the 3rd and all of that, or the 2nd of the month, that means that was the first business day, right? So meaning that the first of the month probably fell on a Saturday or it fell on a Sunday. And so month end won't be until that Monday, which is going to be a later day in the month. So that's how Primerica works when it comes to month ends and all of that. So that's the Primerica production month. Whatever the first day of that month is, and then whatever that month end date is for that month, right? So that 1 by 1,000 has to be done in a Primerica production month, right? And that gets you your senior rep promotion. Well, what's next, man? We got district leader after that. Guys, this is the 50% contract. To me, this is, if you are part-time in this business, if you're not on at least a district leader contract, you gotta just figure this out. You need to run, not walk. You need to work like stink to at least get yourself to a district leader contract, because this is where you start to make really decent part-time compensation in Primerica, right? District leader. So what do you need to do to get to district? Well, in a Primerica production month, you need to do 3 team recruits, not just personal recruits, but you and your team. 3 recruits and do $2,500 in team premium. So it becomes a team sport. Auntie Jackie, it becomes a team sport once a person is trying to go from senior rep to district. It's a team number that you got to do. Now, if you're a team of me, you're a team of one person, then you can do that 3 by 2,500 by yourself, right? But you need to also produce a senior rep. You need to have somebody on your team, in your downline, get promoted to senior rep. You got to have a senior rep in order to be able to go district. So 3 by 2,500 as a team production, and produce a senior rep. And so the trend that you're going to start to see, guys, is a trend that we like to call, it's a form of pushing up people, right? In order for you to go to the next level in the business, you need to help somebody get to your level. So you're replacing yourself with one of your teammates at your level, and that'll help you push up to another level. Let me show you again, right? So division leader, this is the 60% contract, great part-time contract, right? Well, what do you need to do in order to get promoted to district? You and your team need to do 5 recruits and do 5,000 in premium in a Primerica production month, and you need to produce a district leader. You see how that's going? You got to replace yourself at your previous contract level to push up to the next level, right? So we do that because it's not just about you. You have to focus on people on your team. You can't just leave them and say, hey, y'all figure it out. I'm going to go try to get my district contract, my division contract. No, you got to help somebody come along with you, right? And then the last contract level before you go RVP is regional leader. This is a 70% contract. Well, in order for you to get to regional leader, you got to do 7 team recruits, 7,500 in team premium in a Primerica production month, and then you got to produce 2 more district leaders. So you need to have a total of 3 district leaders and do that 7 by 7,500 in a Primerica production month, and that will get you promoted to regional leader. Now, let me go ahead and answer the question that some people might be thinking right now. Well, Nick, can I skip promotion levels? Meaning, can I go from rep all the way to regional leader in 1 month? If I do all the production for all the levels in 1 month, I'm sorry, teammates, no, you can't. You can only achieve 1 promotion level a month. You can only achieve 1 promotion level a month, right? You can't do stacked promotions and stuff like that. You can't do that, right? So 1 promotion level a month. But I like the thought. I like the idea. If anybody out there is trying to be aggressive and doing that, because we have had some people ask that question, but I wanted to go ahead and put it down on wax and training. You cannot skip levels or, and all of that in 1 month. If you do, like if I do the senior rep requirements and the district requirements in 1 month, can I get promoted to district? No, can't do it, right? One promotion level a month. All right. Now let's talk about regional vice president. This is where it gets good. If your desire is to become a regional vice president, these are the promotion guidelines. And this is what I love about Primerica, because our promotion guidelines are written down. This is what they are. Unlike a job to where you don't know what it takes to get promoted on a job. It's all subjective to whoever's doing the promoting, right? You can have all the written qualifications. You can have all of the different experience and dedication to the job. That still will not guarantee that you will get promoted because it's subjective, right? Well, in Primerica, it's not a subjective thing. It's a standards thing. It's a requirement thing. Are you meeting the requirements, right? So to get promoted to regional vice president, now regional vice president, it gives you a lot. It comes with a lot. It comes with 110% contract. You get access to the bonus pool. And if you do it right, you're going to get some Primerica stock, right? You get stock when you get your Primerica contract, like 15,000 in Primerica stock when you get your RVP contract, and then you get an opportunity to qualify for stock every quarter as an RVP. Now, you got to qualify for it, but if you do the requirement, you'll get stock added to your stock pool every quarter, right? So what do you need to do to become a regional vice president? Well, you got to submit 20,000 in premium over 2 consecutive months. Now, this is a cumulative number. You don't need to do 20,000 1 month in premium and then 20,000 next month. But no, it's a cumulative of 20,000 over 2 consecutive months that you have to do. So you can do 10,000 in 1 month, 10,000 in the next month, or 8,000 in 1 month, 12,000 the next month. As long as it adds up to a cumulative of 20,000 premium over 2 consecutive months, that's one of the requirements. Another one of the requirements is you have to have a minimum of a $20,000 or more rolling 12 cash flow in Primerica, meaning that what you've made over a rolling 12-month period equals $20,000 in cash in Primerica or more. So you got to be making some money, already below the level of RVP in order to be able to get promoted to RVP. So that's a requirement, minimum of 20,000 in rolling 12-month cash flow. Then you have to have 6 district leaders under you or the equivalent, right? Because the division leader counts as 2 districts. Regional leader counts as 3 districts. Y'all get what I'm saying. If you have those people under you, but six district leaders or equivalent, you need to have that. And then you need to be securities licensed, SIE, Series 6, Series 63. Doesn't hurt to have your Series 26 either, but definitely SIE, Series 6, and Series 63. So Primerica wants you to be fully licensed in that way. You have to have acceptable persistency and QBI. This is related to your life insurance business, meaning that your business cannot be raggedy, where you got policies that you've written that are falling off the books, and there's an indicator that it's called persistency and QBI, right? It lets us know the health of your life insurance business. Well, that needs to be acceptable. It needs to be at an acceptable percentage, right? I won't get into all the details of what's acceptable. I won't get into that. That's another for a later train, right? And you also need to execute the RVP agreement. So this is a written agreement. You're basically signing a contract saying, hey, I'm accepting the RVP position, right? It is a responsibility. You have a responsibility. So you execute the RVP agreement, right? And you have to provide your promoting regional vice president, the RVP that's promoting, you have to provide them an adequate replacement, right? What does replacement mean? That when you get promoted to RVP, you have to leave a replacement situation, part of your team behind, so your RVP can replenish their agent garden. You're leaving, you're going to start your own base shop. Well, they need to replace you, right? So that's called replacement. And I'm telling you right now, some people call it management exchange. Replacement, management exchange, you hear those two things, it's the same thing, guys, right? So listen to me. Really, the road to RVP, all these things are cool, but the road to RVP is through management exchange, it's through the replacement. If you don't have a strong replacement, what are we talking about? If you don't have an adequate replacement, yeah. And who the replacement is, it's not your choice, it's the promoting RVP's choice, who they want to take as replacement, but it needs to be adequate, right? And then last but not least, in order to be a regional vice president, you have to be full-time in the business. You can't be doing this part-time. I still got my job and I'm an RVP. No, can I still have? No, no. You have to be full-time in the business. But let me tell you something. If you're doing all the things that you need to do to become an RVP, you're probably already full-time in the business, or you're chomping at the bit to go full-time because you're about to get a 6-figure pay raise. I promise you that. The RVP contract is like that, right? But these are the tangible requirements, right? But there's also some intangibles that we look for. And so I kind of boiled them down to 3 just to, because a lot of these encompass a lot of other things. But the first intangible that we look for in order for you to get promoted to RVP is you must be able to make money on your own pen. You have to show that, hey, I'm just not making money off what my team is doing. Because when you go regional vice president, that team gonna look different. You have to show that you have the ability to make money on your own pen. That's personal production. Can you survive on your own pen? Can you make money? Are you writing personal premium? Are you doing securities? Personal securities. Do you have a skill set? Do you have a skill set to make money on your own pen? Can you survive? Meaning that worst case scenario, your team quit, can you survive financially, right? That's a skill. You got to prove it and show that you can make money on your own pen. And then in addition to that, you got to be able to, you got to show that you can attract, retain, and lead people. I look for that. Can you attract, retain, and lead people? Or do you struggle with keeping people around and stuff like that? Now, if you need to work on that, then I'm telling you right now, in the base shop, below the level of RVP, is where you want to work that out. Last thing you want to do, teammates, is get promoted to RVP and you still struggling in this area. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You work this situation out, being able to attract, build a team, retain people on your team where folks ain't coming through the front door and exiting out the back door the next day, right? You're able to retain people. Now, attrition is a natural part of the business, but you're able to retain some folks, right? And then you're able to lead people where people respond to your sound of your voice. You say, hey, this is what we're doing. You call a play, they're responding to it. Can you lead people? We look for that. And then last but not least, guys, we look for you to, people must be mentally tough. We look for that. You must show that you are mentally tough, because this could be a tough business. This could be a very tough business. You know, it has its ebbs and flows, ups and downs. So you want to show that you can, you know, weather the storms, right? With a positive attitude, and keep on trucking that. You know, hey, you can take a licking and keep on ticking. All right. Any questions about the promotion guidelines? I want to pause here. Any questions about those? Any questions? I haven't done that in a minute, where I went through our promotion guidelines, but I wanted to share that with you all. If you didn't get anything from what I said, just know that in order for you to get promoted to the next level, it's a team thing. It's a team production thing, but also it's a leadership thing. You have to help somebody on your team get promoted to the level that you're trying to leave. All right. Any questions about it? Any questions? All right, perfect. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, next month I'm doing less talk. All right. And y'all gonna be doing some talk. All right, here we go. Continue with our promotion with structure. Just a couple of quick bullet points that I want to throw out here. Understand that winning in Primerica is a team sport. I just said that. If you want to win, you need a team. If you want to get promoted to the next level, you want to build a team, right? This is a team sport, right? Once you achieve a promotion level, you won't be demoted for lack of production. That's a common question. Sometimes new people ask that. Hey, if I get promoted, you know, if I don't do certain things, will I get my contract reduced? Will I get demoted? No, that's not how we work. Once you achieve a promotion level in Primerica, we won't demote you for lack of production. All right. I just want to make that clear. For lack of production. All right. Now, achieving a promotion level should be viewed as getting a higher contract in exchange for more production. I'm going to repeat that and let this sit in. Achieving a promotion level should be viewed as not only getting a higher contract, but you're getting that higher contract in exchange for you being able, and you and your team being able to deliver more production. So if you're going from, Coach B. Walk, help me out on this. If a person is going from district leader to division leader, going from district leader to a division leader, that's a 50% contract to a 60% contract. That's a 10% increase in their pay. Now, in order for them to go from district, now to get to district, they had to do 3 team recruits, $2,500 in premium. When a person goes to division, it's 5 team recruits, $5,000 in team premium. When you get promoted to division leader, we're not looking for you to still do senior rep and district numbers. We want you to, and we expect for you to start doing division leader numbers, because that's your new contract. So you get the 10% increase in the contract, but the expectation is an increase in production. Does that make sense, teammates? That's how it should be looked at. That's the mindset. I know it's just a, hey, I got my promotion. I work my tail off. But no, when you get the promotion, there's a greater responsibility that comes with that. Coach B. Walk, talk to him a little bit about the importance of, hey, when you get promoted, you want to play at that level. It's not about getting that promotion and then you're falling back. No, you're saying, hey, I'm getting this promotion because I want to play at that level. Talk to him a little bit about that.
I just remember the first time, I'm just going to say that when I went division leader, I remember Justin Hall saying, okay, you maximizing that contract. You gonna feel the difference. Now that was a huge difference from that 50% contract to that 60%, even though it's 10% difference, right? But the fact of the matter is, by the time you become division leader, you already have a team up underneath you. So you should be pushing those numbers every single week. You should be running the numbers. You know, at this point, you should at least have your senior reps. You could possibly have a district leader, depending on how you played it. You know, you should have a district leader at the same time. Nick just showed you the promotion guidelines, but you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that, because when you think about how the contracts work, it's starting off, honestly, it's coming from your regional vice president's contract at 110%, right? And so they've trusted in the work that you put behind it. Don't just reach for a promotion that month and never hit a number again. I always say, don't be a one-hit wonder. You don't want to be that person. Don't be a one-hit wonder. You want to make sure that if you're going to go division leader, you're going to hit those numbers every single time, every single month. You're going to hit those numbers. You're going to maximize the contract. You're going to own up to what your title is, right? And so I just remember being a division leader. Honestly, I think it was 3 months in the business, going division leader. And but the team was lined up. We had some months to where it was kind of rough, but we had some months where we went all in. And the goal is by that time, you should know, hey, I'm division leader. I know we say district leader, that's that 50% contract that everybody's pretty much fighting for beforehand, right? But that division leader at 60%, you should be telling yourself, I'm division leader. What's next? Do I want to go regional vice president? I need to sit in front of my coach and tell him, hey, here I am. I'm already division leader now, but in the next 5 to 6 months, I plan on going RL. Then I plan on the next 6 months going regional vice president. I'm saying 6 months because by then there are other things that you should be doing, like saving. You should be mapping by now. So using that 60% contract and putting that money up because you don't need it, because everybody on the call is full time, right? So you can live off your paycheck and then save this money so that if you do go regional vice president, you have a cushion. And that cushion is going to be important, y'all. Trust and believe it's going to be important. But just make sure if you do go division leader, I'm always grateful for hearing about promotions. Oh, we got promoted. That's wonderful. But make sure when you get promoted, you just don't go division leader. Don't be that one-hit wonder. Line your team up. Make sure you're working with your team. And you should also be a field trainer by now, because what you don't want to happen is you had a 60% contract, but you can't run any of your appointments. You can't train your team. So at division leader, this is when I think that things should really change. And you should be looking at your business way different and actually taking advantage of that 60%. And if y'all bring in someone, you're recruiting, I know we have some division leaders and some regional leaders on this call. Y'all know what an override feel like. And Nick talked about the power of override and how that feels. And I remember rolling over in the morning and looking at my do not replies as a division leader and was like, wait a minute, because I didn't understand at first. I was like, Nick, so I don't get an override? He was like, yes, you get an override. So a 60% contract, y'all, you bringing in somebody that's a senior rep, 35%, that's 25% difference. And so make sure you're taking advantage. We got to take advantage of it. We can't leave any money on the table, y'all. And every time I talk, y'all know I'm talking to myself as well. Blessed Dynasty, we got to build all the way over. And hey, I'm with it. But I'm saying, y'all, if you get a 60% contract, if you get a 50% contract, make sure you take advantage of it. If you want a 35% contract, you should be fighting to get to a 50% contract. And at 50%, you should be fighting to get to that 60 and also 70, because that 70 is the highest that you can go below the level of regional vice president. But I'm with you, Nick, on that. Let's y'all, activity. Got to go back to the activity. All right, Nick.
Fantastic, man. Good stuff, Coach B. Walk. Take full advantage of these contracts, y'all. Take full advantage. And it's funny that you mentioned override, because I got some stuff that I'm gonna share with them specifically about just the power of overrides here in just a second. But just, to wrap up, this part of it, man, hey, look, when you get promoted, man, you're taking on that additional responsibility. Like, hey, like Coach B. Walk said, I'm not just jumping up there. Like, man, it's one thing to jump. The other thing is, can you hang? Can you hang? So you want to get to that level, right? And stay at that level. Right. And so then the next thing is that promotions with the proper structure, Mom. Check this out. Promotions with the proper structure, Naomi, should put the people in place to bring about consistent production and continued success. When you structure your promotions right, just like we have them lined out in the promotion guidelines, and what Coach B. Walk talked about is that, to go district, you got a senior rep under you. To go division, you got a district leader under you, man. You should have some people that are licensed. If they got people, man, you got something going. You got a situation going. You got a situation brewing underneath you to where you're not just the only one. It should be some other people that are with you that they're learning the business, that they're out there scheduling appointments, they're out there running appointments and getting to know and getting to an understanding and becoming crusaders in this business. That's the type of momentum that you want to build. And then last but not least, this is big, guys, taking shortcuts to qualify for promotions can make it more challenging to achieve future promotions. Taking shortcuts, meaning that, hey, you know, I want to get my district promotion, so I'm gonna recruit my wife, and then I'm gonna stack some people under her and make her a senior rep, or I'm gonna recruit my husband and make him a senior rep, then that's gonna make me a district. And yeah, man, I got my district lead promotion, but you kind of you finagled it. Look, man, I'm just telling you right now, yeah, you get your district lead promotion, but to go division, because you kind of took a shortcut to get there. I get it. You know, to each his own, get it how you live. But at some point, you're going to have to come to grips with that shortcut. At some point, you're going to have to pay that price. You're going to have to really pay the pipe. You're going to have to really build something in order to go to the next level and the next level after that. So I just wanted to put that out there. Taking shortcuts to qualify for promotions can also make it more challenging to achieve future promotions, because you can get stuck at a level and you're trying to like, oh man, how do I get out of this? I mean, I'm just stuck here. I'm trying to go to the next level, man. I'm trying well, you got to build it right. Build it right the first time in the beginning. And that's what your trainer and your RVP, that's what we want you to do. All right. And so let's talk about being an agent versus building an agency. Being an agent versus building an agency. See, there's a difference. There's a different approach to the business. I feel that right now we're functioning a lot as agents, Coach B. Walt. We're not really functioning as building an agency. See, when you're functioning as an agent, this is what's going on with you. Hey, you get licensed, or you become fully licensed when you're an agent. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, right? You focusing on developing a great skill set. That's a great thing also, because you want to do that. But you focus primarily and only on personal activity. How many appointments am I scheduling? How many appointments am I running? How much business am I closing, right? How many life sales am I closing? How much securities am I doing? You're focusing on personal activity. It's not a bad thing, but we'll get to an alternative here in a minute. And you should be focused on servicing your clients' needs. So if you have clients, you're staying in touch with them, you're doing your annual reviews with them, you're calling them on their birthday, you're just keeping that connection with them, you servicing your clients' needs, and you're running a clean, compliant business, right? You're making sure that your back office is good, that the policies that you write, that they're getting issued, any policies that are in the life conservation or in jeopardy of lapsing, you're on top of that. Or if some do lapse, you're looking to get them reinstated, all of that. I mean, you're on top of your business, and you're making sure that you're doing things that are legal, moral, and ethical. You're running a compliant business, right? And so that's an agent. And then also you're making money from personal sales. And there's no cap on that. The only cap that limits you is time and your energy. Because if it's just you, you are limited by time, because it is only 24 hours in a day. And you're limited by just your energy. You can't be everywhere all the time, every day. But that's agent, right? That's somebody's being an agent. And being an agent is not a bad thing. But let's talk about building an agency. See, it's a different approach. Some of the things are similar. Some of the things are different. See, when you're building an agency, you also want to become fully licensed, because you want to do buy term invested difference. You want to do all these different things that we have available to meet our clients' needs. Becoming fully licensed is a priority for someone who's looking to build an agency, right? And you're focusing on developing a great skill set when you're building an agency. But when you're also, part of that skill set, Coach B. Walt, includes leadership. Why? Because you have a team focus, a team mentality. You're focused on recruiting, licensing, and training agents. In addition to all these things, Your focus is on recruiting, licensing, and training agents. You want to duplicate yourself several times over. You want people to come into your business, get licensed, and you want to teach them and show them how to do the business so they can be better than you at the business. That's someone who has an agency mentality. And you're focusing on not only just your personal activity, you're focusing on personal and team activity. How many appointments do we all have scheduled? How many wealth builders do we have scheduled, right? How many life closes are we getting as a team? How many guests do we have at the overview, the op meeting? How many people do we have plugged into this financial workshop, right? How many recruits are we getting as a team? How many people do we have in the licensing process? This is agency mindset, right? When you're an agent, you don't necessarily worry about those things. You're worried about managing yourself. But when you have an agency mindset, you're looking to expand that. And you know, it's about people. It's about building a team. And the team services the client's needs. You service clients too, but as a team, you guys are servicing all the clients' needs. Hey, those are your clients. You need to make sure you're keeping up with them. And you're also, the team is focused on running a clean and compliant business. It's a team focus. It's a culture of running clean and compliant business. And then also, you make money. When you have an agency mindset, you focus on building an agency, check this out, Omar. You make money from personal sales and overrides. Coach B-Walk just used that word, man. That is the magic word, overrides. You make money from personal sales and overrides. Primerica, thank God, is an override business. It's an override business. But when you're an agent, it's not really any overrides in it for you. The only comp that you're getting is from what you do, because it's just you. When you have an agency, you can tap into override. So let's talk about, as it relates to the cash flow quadrant, what this looks like, right? These are the 4 ways to make money: employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. But when it comes to agent and agency, it really focuses on these 2. See, the self-employed quadrant is the agent. That's it. You own a job. Well, 100% of your income is based off what you do. If you don't make a sale, no money is made, right? If you take off for the week, nothing happens for that week. That's a self-employed person. That's not an agency, that's an agent. But when you have an agency, that's more of the business part of the cash flow quadrant. You own a system, you have others working for you and with you. And there's unlimited income potential when you have an agency, because you can continue to add to your income stream by recruiting, licensing, and training new agents. That's where you can add to your income stream, and it's unlimited, right? So let's talk about the power of overrides. The power of overrides. Dial in. If you ain't listened to nothing that I've said, lock in right here. This is the time to lock in. Turn your camera on, get in a place where you can see what I'm about to show you right now. We're going to talk about overrides. Overrides, man. It's one of my favorite words in the English language, especially when it comes to business, because that's what business is about. Every business owner, real business owner, they are focused on overrides. How much money can I make without me doing the work? Overrides. When you watch Shark Tank, I'm telling you right now, they ain't investing no money in nothing, mom. If they got to get their hands dirty, they'll tell you, they'll be like, nah, this business ain't for me. Why? Because I got to get involved with it too much. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to build your business for you. This business, I need to have enough confidence in you that you know what you know. I'll mentor you. I'll connect you with resources, but dadgummit, this business needs to be able to grow and develop and get on a path without me having to do the day-to-day stuff. Am I right or am I right? Anybody watch Shark Tank? That's how they are. They're like, look, man, I'll get in there a little bit with you. I'll guide you. I'll mentor you, but I'm not trying to do the grunt work. They're trying to override. That's what Shark Tank is about. They are trying to override. What business can I get that is scalable, that can give me big overrides? Primerica is no different. We get an opportunity, guys, to override. We don't talk about it enough, Coach B-Walk. We don't. So let's talk about the power of overrides. We got to get excited about this because this might be the spark that triggers something inside of you like, dang, man, I ain't never looked at it like this. So let's say that you're a person that you have an agency. And let's just say that you are, let's look at it from an RVP perspective. So the RVP, if you guys remember, they're on a 110% contract. Oh, look at my time. Okay. All right, I'm going to land this plane here in about 9 minutes. All right. RVP contract, 110%. All right. And let's say that you got 3 people under you as an RVP. You got a regional leader on a 70% contract, district leader on a 50% contract, senior rep on a 35% contract. And let's say Sean, check this out. In 1 month, all 3 of them do a life app. But before you do that, let's look at the spread. The difference in y'all's contract. This is what they call the spread. The spread is the difference between contracts. The difference between the regional leader and the RVP contract is 40%. The difference between the district leader and the RVP, 60%. Just the difference between the contracts. 110, take 50 out on 110, 60%. And then the difference between the senior rep and the RVP is 75%. I'm going somewhere with this. Let's say in 1 month, each of these individuals in the same month, they wrote a life app. They're all licensed. They're all, active in the business. They each wrote a life app. And each of the life apps were $100 a month. They wrote $100 a month life apps. Willie won't it, but Coach B-Walk, we need that right now. Won't he, Willie. Right? They each wrote a $100 life app. Check this out. This is how Primerica works commission. Now, look, there's some other pieces to it. I'm just doing simple math, simple commission payout. I know some of you guys, well, Nick, what about the policy fee, all that? We ain't getting into all of that tonight. I'm just trying to keep it simple, right? Just kind of work with me. So you take that $100 a month, multiply it by 12, because there's 12 months in a year, that equals $1,200 in annual premium. That's where Primerica pays the commission out of, is that $1,200 annual premium, right? Guys, I know that there's more to it than that. I'm just keeping it simple. So let's look at just a couple of points that I want to kind of illuminate. See, override commission is based on the percentage difference between the upline contract and the downline contract. Whatever that spread percentage is, that's the override percentage. So the override percentage from RVP to regional leader is 40%. District is 60%, and as it says here, senior rep, 75%. Just want to make that point. In addition to that, you can earn an override below the level of RVP from your downline agents. You don't have to be a regional vice president to earn overrides. You can be below the level of RVP and earn overrides as long as your contract level is above your downline agent. If your contract level is bigger than your downline agent, you can earn an override when that person does some business, right? Just want to make that point. Coach B walked up about when she was getting them do not reply emails or do not reply email. What she's talking about is when you get that email and Primerica going to pay you some money. It says do not reply. It's the first line of it. Do not reply, right? They just letting you know you got paid. And then check this out. This is big. This comes up. This is for people that are on this training or people that watch this training. You will not earn overrides from a downline agent that flanks you. Meaning that you're a district leader and you have somebody that under you that becomes a district leader, but you didn't get promoted to division leader to that contract level up. So y'all are both on a district leader contract. And that was your agent. If that agent does business, you will not earn an override. Why? Because y'all are on the same contract. So let me repeat that. You will not earn overrides from a downline agent that flanks you. They call that you got flanked. You can't. But that does not apply. It's only for people that are below the RVP. You can earn overrides if you're an RVP and you promote somebody to RVP. Well, Nick, if I'm an RVP and I promote an RVP, will I still earn overrides? Yes, unless you're an RVP or above. If you're an RVP or above, that doesn't count. You'll still earn overrides from somebody that's an RVP and all that good stuff if you're an RVP. So they give you that grace as an RVP or above. You'll earn all kind of stuff in compensation from your RVPs that you promote out, right? So I wanted to make those points. So let's look at what the commissions would be for each of these agents that wrote these life sales. The regional leader commission would be $840, right? So when that regional leader wrote that $100 sale, Primerica gonna pay them somewhere in the ballpark of $840. The district leader gonna get paid $600, y'all. $600 for doing that $100 life app. And then the senior rep commission is gonna be somewhere in the ballpark of about $420 when they write that life sale. So they're happy. They're excited. Regional leader made almost 1,000. District made over 500. Senior rep, my goodness, made almost 500. Everybody's fine. But let's look at the RVP override. The RVP override from the regional leader alone, when that regional leader did that life sale, the RVP made an override of $480. Y'all ain't excited. The override from the district leader, remember the spread is 40% for the RL, 60% for the district. RVP override was $720, and y'all ain't excited about overrides. And then the override from the senior rep was $900. So that total RVP override compensation, guys, is $2,100 if this scenario was real. If they had 3 people on these 3 contract levels in their base shop that did $100 life app each, they would all get paid, but that RVP override would be over $2,100. Y'all ain't excited. Y'all ain't excited. Guys, this is the business that we in. And we acting like, oh man, like, how do I recruit? I don't know. We need to figure it out. We need to get some folks in the business so we can start training them and developing them. Like, I'm going to get joined at the hip so I can get you rocking and rolling so you can be productive, make some money, map some money, and become finally, and you can make some overrides. But check this out. I got another example for you. Let's say that you have a regional leader that has a senior rep under them. Check this out, auntie, mom, check this out. All my regional leaders, Queen, check this out. Regional leader got a senior rep under them. And that senior rep that's under the regional leader does a $100 life app. Well, Nick, what happens? Does the RVP, they don't want to make the override? No. I just said if you have an agent that's under you, a downline agent that's on a lower contract under you, you can make an override. Well, what does that look like? Same scenario, $100 a month times 12, that's $1,200 annual premium. Check this out. The senior rep commission is going to be $420. We just talked about that in the previous slide. So they can get paid $420. What's the difference between the regional leader contract and the senior rep contract? It just so happens to be 35% also. So the regional leader override gonna be $420. Y'all ain't excited. But the RVP override bends through the direct agent. It's not they get paid the difference between the senior rep and the RVP contract. No, whoever the highest agent is in that leg, it bends through their contract level. So the RVP override, Sean, bends through the regional leader. So they make 40% because the regional leader is in that leg. And so the RVP override is $480. Guys. And then if the senior rep, Coach B. Wall, had a rep under them, I ain't do this, I'm just talking through it. If they had a rep under them, and the rep did a $100 life app, rep don't get paid, senior rep gets a 10% override, regional leader would get a 35% override, and the RVP will get a 40% override off of that scenario as well. Guys, we need to be about building these overrides. See, the more licensed and productive agents that we have in our downline, the more overrides we can earn. I put a we in there because I'm focused on it too. But the more licensed and productive agents that, now let me change it up. that you have in your downline, the more licensed productive agents you have in your downline, the more overrides that you can earn. So let's go out and recruit, license, and train people to be productive. We're going to build wide, we're going to build deep, we're going to taproot till we find a leader, and when we find a leader in the leg, that leg will take on a life of its own, and it'll start to produce without us being there, so we can earn overrides. Guys, that's passive income. Now I'm gonna finish up with this. Masters, the secrets to building a super hierarchy. There's a page in this book that talks about, the profile of a master builder. I thought this was pretty cool. Profile of master builder. Now I've kind of modified some of the numbers because, It says, hey, what's the profile of a master builder? One of the profiles of a master builder, they said, Omar, they built big base shops. And in their thing, they talking about the 100+ recruits, 100,000 premium base shop. Like, look, man, and for me, a big base shop, check this out. If your base shop is doing 30+ recruits, 40,000+ in premium, they didn't have these numbers in there, but I'm throwing them in there. Licensing 9+ people a month, doing $500,000+ in securities a month. That's a big base shop. To me, that's a big base shop. You got 30 new people coming in every month, 9 folks getting licensed or more, 40,000 in premium. That's a nice size base shop. To me, that qualifies as a big base shop, right? So the profile of a master builder is that they built big base shops and they maintained a big base shop for 4 to 5 years straight, Quee. They didn't just do it 1 month and then they fell back. No, they maintained that big base shop, Coach B-Walk, 4 to 5 years straight. These are not my words. This is coming straight from the secrets of building a super hierarchy. It also said they built strong and independent first-generation RVPs. They said this is the profile. When you look at the people that they looked at it and they considered them master builders in Primerica, this was it. They built strong first-generation RVPs, and they built a lot of first-generation RVPs, a lot of them. And they said, man, about 20 of them, first-generation RVPs. And they maintain a big base shop after promoting out those RVPs. Why? So they can be the example for their RVPs. They also became master motivators at all levels, meaning that they were motivating and spending time with people with their RVPs. They were spending more time and motivating and encouraging people that are in their base shop, regional leaders, divisions, districts, senior reps. They were also building personal relationships and motivating and encouraging people in their RVP, their first generation RVPs base shops. They become master motivators at all levels. They communicated with their 20 percenters, their key people, their 20 percenters almost daily for 2 years straight. They were in constant communication with their key people almost daily for 2 years. They couldn't live with being average and ordinary. That's what drove them. Part of what drove them, they just could not be average or they couldn't live with themselves, being average and ordinary. And they had an expansion mindset, meaning that they were looking at ways to expand their business, to grow their business, whether it was, hey, man, if we recruit somebody that's sharp in this city or in this state, man, maybe we can do some things like that. They were looking to expand after they produced something that was awesome in their area. They had an expansion mindset. They set goals for themselves and their people, and they discussed those goals. And they encouraged their teammates about those goals. They had a team goal and they said, hey, man, they broke that thing down and they talked about what is it going to take for you to get to this goal. And then last but not least, guys, they believed in the opportunity. They believed in the system, their system, and just the overall system that we're in. But they believed in the opportunity. They believed in the system, and they believed in themselves. They believed in themselves. They said, I ain't nothing but a double, triple stud. I know I can do it. But they had a belief level on all 3 fronts. They thought the opportunity was amazing. They believed in it and the power of it. They believed in the system in order to help build this thing. And then they believed in themselves. So guys, I'm just here to tell you, if we're going to become people that recruit, license, train, and build some stuff here, man, We got to put it all together. But you're not doing it by yourself. We're all here together. You guys are all amazing. There's just a few things we need to clean up. It's a few things we need to work through. Some habits that we need to dial back, and some new habits we need to replace those old habits with. And I guarantee you right now, man, I mean, we're only a couple of things away, and it's going to light a fire, and we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling. All right. But I love each and every last one of you guys. Thank y'all for logging on, paying attention to this training. I'm going to upload it to the YouTube channel. It should be available. And then next week, man, we'll keep it going. All right. Love y'all. Peace, everybody.